SMU game. I mean, we went toe-to-toe with a really good team in their gym for 40 minutes. So a lot of good things, some things that we need to do better. We've got to understand time and score a little better. Obviously, defensive rebounding. But SMU's bigs are, I mean, they're really, really good. And obviously, they've got the best player in the league in Nick Moore. But I'm proud of our kids' ability to grind for 40 minutes. We made all the plays we needed to. We just couldn't make them at the end. But going into the USF game, the league didn't do us any favors giving us 4 out of our first 6 on the road. Usually your schedule, your record will be indicative of your schedule. Some teams' schedules are front-loaded, some are back-loaded. The ones that are back-loaded, those teams probably have pretty good records. But I like our schedule, the way it was set up, because it gave us a chance to get on the road and get some wins early. We won at South Florida, we won at Temple. The one game that kind of just digs in your craw, and just haunts us right now is only one game. If you'd have told me back in September after 6 games we beat 3 and 3, I'd be happy. Why not? 4 out of 6 on the road, are you kidding me? But the Connecticut game at home, that was one of those games where it's tough to let that one go, but you have to. So we've moved on. We've moved on to the point now where we understand that South Florida beat us up on the boards the last time. Now we turned them over 20 points and scored 29 points. Turned them over 20 times and we scored 29 points. But they really handled us on the board. So we got to do a better job on the defensive boards, and then we got to make some shots. Basketball is a simple game. You got to put the biscuit in the basket, man.
You mentioned one word, kind of like on an often basis, grinding. From non-conference to conference play, you've mentioned they've gotten better at it. Are they getting to the point where they're more consistent what you're looking for than just game again?
Well, if they weren't, we'd have got blown out at SMU. You better grind when you go on the road in this league. Whether it's at South Florida, South Florida beat Cincinnati beat South Florida 54-51. That tells you how it's not easy to win anywhere on the road. To be a good road team in this league, you have to grind. And we've played 4 road games. We won at South Florida. We won at Temple. We were tied with SMU with under 2 minutes to go. We're down 3 at Cincinnati with around 5 minutes to go. So this team's been good at grinding. The only game that disappointed me was the Connecticut game at home. But even though we play a very imperfect game, coaches tend to want everything to be perfect. We know that's not going to happen.
Is it more that you've mentioned the Connecticut game twice? Is it more that some things that you didn't see, or some things you were looking for?
Making shots, man. Let's not overcomplicate anything here.
Okay.
Our 2 best players went 6 for 26. Enough said.
What kind of challenges did USF?
Yeah, USF really beat us up on the boards the last time. We've got to get better at that. Just that's a big point of emphasis in our practices. We're coming off a game where we had 23 offensive rebounds, which again is part of our identity, something we emphasize every day. We've got to really attack the offensive boards against South Florida, but just as important, we have to keep them off the offensive boards. I think that's the big key. I like to sit here and say we're going to make 12, 15 threes, but we don't have a great shooting team. That's not going to change. That's consequently is why we really attack the offensive boards. But for us, it's keeping the other team from getting as many second shots. But the bigs in this league are big, and they're good. USF has good bigs. SMU, Cincinnati, Memphis, Temple. This is major college basketball, man. We're not playing the little sisters of the poor. So when you play good teams, you better be ready to play. But good thing is we have a good team, and that's why we're where we are.
Your team has played a very tough stretch these last 3 games, 2 of them on the road. What have you liked about what your team has done these last 3 games?
Yeah, I like the way we've grinded. I like the way we've competed. The first half against SMU, I thought we controlled the game. We were disappointed to be tied at halftime. We made some head-scratching mistakes in that game that we're going to try to eliminate, obviously, going forward. But, you know, they made some tough plays down the stretch. You know, I think the other thing that's, you know, you don't like talking about it too much, but it's kind of raising its ugly head with us is our free throw shooting. You know, in non-conference, we were a really good free throw shooting team. I think we were shooting close to 73%. But once we been in conference play, you know, we've struggled. I don't think they've raised the basket or moved the line back. Still 10 feet high and 15 feet back. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but we've got to get that solved.
Anybody, anything else?
Works for me.
Great. Thank you.